If you're using cake syrup to make your sponges last longer, then stop right here. So my first top tip would be to bake low and slow. I bake all of my sponges here at 160 degrees. If you look at cookery books, you know, some of the people that I've always read books of, Delia Smith, Mary Berry, all those big legends, classic legends. If you look through some of their older dated cookbooks, if they've not been reissued, quite often they're baking at 180 degrees, you know, for sponges, maybe things like brownies and things at 200. With the quality of ovens that we have today, that's too hot. All that's going to do is it's going to make the outside edge go really brown really quickly, and that sponge is going to really tense up. And potentially the outside is baking a lot quicker than the inside, so what that ends up doing is it just ends up wrecking your sponge and really making it really tight and just dry, to be honest with you. So I use an oven thermometer. I just got this from my hardware shop. They probably sell it online as well. I just pop that into my oven, I turn my oven on, hook that onto the little bars on my oven, and I only put my sponge batter that I've pre-prepared into the oven when the temperature on my thermometer here, my oven thermometer, reaches 160 degrees. And I do that because although it says 160 degrees, and some ovens, particularly in the UK, have got like a little red light, when that red light goes out, your oven is supposed to be at that temperature. I know through using my thermometer and through baking experience that very often that is not the case. You might have one hot spot in your oven. For my oven, it's my back left part of my oven that's my hot spot. And as soon as that gets to 160, the rest of the oven is deemed to be at 160. So the red light goes out and you think, oh great, I can put my cake in. But if you put it in on the right hand side where there's no hot spot, you're putting it in to start the baking process when the oven isn't hot enough. So what's happening is your baking powder's having that lovely chemical reaction, but there's no heat to sustain the rise. So all that happens is you get really dull tasting, dry, sunken cakes most probably where they go in, and just a really unpleasant sponge. So my first top tip is bake low and slow. I bake everything here, all my sponges at 160 degrees. It might mean that I have to bake them for a few minutes longer, but as soon as my timer goes off, I'm looking through the oven door and I'm looking to see whether my cake has risen. So my first top tip is to bake low and slow.